Is it on?
Joe, lower your hands! Teddy!
Some sort of beast has entered our abode.
Gotta knock these bozos' wieners off.
I swear it's not as bad as the name sounds. Or that look.
I bet he deserved it.
From the Great North to Wonder Wharf. All right.
Hey everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of From the Great North to Wonder Wharf, your one-stop destination for bento box information. As always, I am Mike.
And I'm JB.
JB, how's it been? We missed last week, obviously due to the holidays. We were enjoying time with family and friends, but excited to be back. Some news to discuss, and a fun game to play, and yeah, just a normal show. So, I don't know. Let's do a little banter. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Coco is with his grandma tonight, so it's gonna be quiet, no interruptions. So it'll be a good night.
Of course, we just had the kickoff of the 2023 NFL season. That's why I'm wearing my burgundy and gold for my Commanders, who are undefeated, and I am looking
my brown and orange Browns.
With your questionable quarterback. It's neither here nor there.
No, I'm on that page too.
But yeah, also in the news, we are no longer fans of Drew Barrymore, and that hurts my heart, but it is what it is.
I missed out on that news.
Oh, Drew Barrymore said, "Screw the strike, we're going back on the air."
Bad Drew.
Maybe not in those specific terms, but
No.
yeah, she's putting her show back on the air.
No.
And I don't know how they're doing the writers. I think they're like hiring scabs.
We're just gonna wing it. We're winging it.
Yeah, and she can't wing it. That's not a show to be wunged.
We're gonna get in with AI, maybe BI. I don't know. It's just fresh.
The thing is, she can do her show. She can have guests on. They just can't promote anything. So yeah. I'm not sure what they're gonna do. Maybe talk about life, but I mean, I don't know. Drew, you broke my heart. I loved you. Now you're dead to me. So
just send Fran Drescher in.
Fran Drescher set her straight.
Yeah, just set it straight.
That one hurt. Hold on, let me bring up the chat here while I got it. Hey, Yahoo. So let's we don't really have news, but we have some rumors we need to address, what they could potentially mean for seasons of shows that we all know and love. Starting off, after a couple of weeks, it seems like some news outlets have picked up on that TikTok from months ago where I still don't know who this person is.
No, we can't figure it out.
We can't figure it out. I sent it to our contact, who couldn't give me an answer either way, mainly because they didn't know either. Obviously, the TikTok said that Bob has ceased production up to 17 episodes. This has neither been confirmed nor denied. In fact, there's been no movement at all from Bento and Bob's in regards to an episode count. Some websites are running with this story, not saying that the websites aren't saying that the story is true. They're just reporting on the TikTok.
Yeah. I saw comicbook.com was doing that and some other ones too.
Yeah. So essentially, if you haven't seen the TikTok says, this person says that 17 episodes have been done before the strike went into effect. So season 14 is going to be limited to 17 episodes. That could very well be true.
I'm not saying it's not. It definitely can be.
Yeah. So I've seen some people say, well, maybe they'll just roll the remaining 5 episodes into season 15, and season 15 will be extra long. I don't see that happening either.
Yeah, I don't, especially with the NFL. I mean, they're going up against that. I just don't. And with scheduling, like that's just time, and that's something that like Fox is going to hold precious. So they're not going to just give it.
Right.
I don't see us also getting any of those weird like splice episodes where they try to save money on animation. I don't think that's going to happen either. I don't think Bob's would go to that level. So I think it's just going to be, if it is what it is, I mean, it'll be like season 2.
I see season 15 being a short season as well. I don't see us getting.
But it's not confirmed, so we have to just kind of wait and see. But I mean, it does seem like it would make sense based on there's a strike.
Yeah.
It happened with Lost. It happened with when they went on strike before. There was shorter episodes, shorter seasons. So I would assume this will be kind of the same.
Yeah, because for those of you who aren't aware, at this point in time, with the premiere 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away, they should have already been deep into season 15 or starting on season 15 as far as production goes. And obviously they can't do that.
Because, I mean, we've had animators on before and storyboard artists and people that are like, it's like a 9-month process. So this very well could have effects on season 15. It just depends on when the strike ends or how it ends.
And at this point, it could go into 2024. Like you said, I could see season 15 being a very small season, 9 episodes perhaps.
Yeah, I can see them trying to squeeze 10. I think 10 would probably be where they'd try to go because it's either 10 or 11 was season 2, but I think they'd try to aim for that.
Right. Yahoo, they're definitely not going to show season 15 in the summer.
No.
They would have already had to been working on it. There's no way for them to meet that summer goal.
And I know people were saying like, oh, they just don't have anything written. We've been told by writers and things in the past that they have plenty of ideas and they have script ideas, but they're not fleshed out with jokes or anything like that. They're just kind of bare bones structures.
And they can't work on it.
No, not allowed.
So will we see season 15? Yes. Is it going to be a shortened season? Speculation on our end says yes.
I would say, yeah.
Based on what we know production-wise and how long it takes for this show to be put together, there's absolutely no way to show on time and still run 22 episodes. I don't think we get on a normal schedule until season 16.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So it'll be, let's see, Yahoo. Can the AMPTP and studios just not be effing cowards and just accept the demand? Seriously, though, not that hard. It's not that hard. But it's a money thing. Call them selfish, call them what you want. It is a business. We love these cartoons, but it is a business. These things need to make money for studios. The studios want to make money, and people want to line their pockets. It is what it is. There's no use arguing over the morality of it all. It's a business.
And I mean, I just watched, I believe, an Instagram video where one of the actors or someone was talking about it and basically said, like, we've pitched these 4 things and the studios have refused. And it was like, if they don't pay us on time, then we get like, almost like because we didn't get paid on time and we have like, does that like paying our bills and stuff like that, it affects us. So like, we'd like to get some extra pay. And they just said, no, we'll pay you when we pay you. Just little stuff like that, but it seems little, but they're big stuff to the actors and writers who are like, I need that money to pay my rent. I need that money to pay for bills. Like the studio has the money. They just don't want to give it out on a normal basis or schedule. So
yeah. And the great thing is, and I think Jessica Chastain brought this to light. So I'm trying to balance something right here.
Yeah.
There are things called interim agreements. Studios can independently meet the demands of the actors. I think A24 is doing it. A couple other productions are doing it.
A lot of smaller studios are doing it.
Absolutely. And that's a great thing because it shows that if these smaller studios can do it, then obviously these bigger studios can easily meet the demands. They're just not. So while you'll see some things in production and wonder how come they can do it and we can't, it's because those individual studios are meeting the demands.
Yep.
So until Disney and Apple and Netflix and et cetera,
yeah.
Yeah, so these bigger shows that you love so much won't be back on the air because they're on these bigger networks. And until those bigger networks cave, I see the actors and the writers digging in for the long haul. They're not going to be swayed by threats of, well, you're going to be homeless or you're going to be X, Y, and Z. I don't know how long they can hold out, but I think now it's more of the principle. So, good luck. We know a lot of writers. We know a lot of actors, and we feel for y'all. So fingers crossed. But I haven't even seen reports of any new meetings taking place, so I don't know. Where
I think that last meeting, like I think the actors and writers came in thinking, okay, well, this is going to happen. We're going to at least have some good discussions. And I think it just was like they reiterated the deal that they offered them before the strike, and they're like, no.
Yeah.
And just they walked out. They're like, this isn't a meeting about anything. This is just you trying to lowball it again.
And they also the studios leaked their offer to the press, so now everybody knows what they offered. So they're not bargaining in good faith either. So oh hey Lee, thanks. What do I do? What do we do? What are you thanking us for? Thank you for being here. For being a friend. Welcome.
The whole world is thanking us.
Thanking you. But yeah, there's no end to the strike in sight. Season 14 is going to be short. Season 15 is probably going to be even shorter. Let me say pure speculation. And then season 16 is where we'll pick back up on our normal 22 run episode, is my thought. Also, want to address the elephant in the room. It is just JB and I tonight. You can see that we have a funky new background that we've created. We're trying to spruce up the show visually. Unfortunately, the only way to do this. Oh, okay. You good now? There, JB? Talk to me, buddy. Talk to me, buddy. Oh, you're welcome, Lee. Yeah, no, I hope you're doing well and you're able to take care of yourself. Like I said, we know a lot of actors and a lot of writers, and some are more well off than others. So hopefully you can tread water until this whole thing kind of takes care of itself. JB, are you there, bud? Oh, he's gone. He's gone. He'll be back. You better be back. No, that's the thing. Abby did not quit. Let's see, can I? Okay, well, JB back. So while JB was here, you saw that we had a nice little background. What we're trying to do is we're trying to spruce up the show visually. And the only way we could do that is to have a 2-camera setup. So it had to be just JB and myself. Abby is still here as a producer. We still love her to death. We'll have her on the show from time to time. Just from a visual standpoint, in order to utilize the background, which we'll see here in a second, we needed to just go to a 2-cam setup. So we spoke to Abby about it. She completely understands. There's no hard feelings. She's still running the Discord for us. She'll be on here if the occasion is appropriate. We back?
I would think so.
There we go. But yeah, so Lee, as you can see, this nice background right here, this is only possible with a 2-cam setup. So that's why we decided to go this route again, just to make it more visually interesting. But no, Abby did not quit. She sends her love. She is busy tonight, but she will still be here in the chat, occasionally on the show. And again, always on the Discord if you're ever over there. So Abby is not too far. She just won't be on camera as often as she was for the previous episodes. That's all that is. We also have a new ending to the live stream, so be sure to stay tuned after we say our goodbyes to see a fun little thing that we put together for the end of the episodes.
Everyone's gonna like it, I think.
All right, he's back, everybody. Speaking of season 14 of Bob's Burgers, JB, you were at Comic-Con and you were treated to the season premiere of season 14 of Bob's Burgers. We also got release of some low quality stills. Unfortunately, we are not press, so we did not get the full high res. But you've seen the images, you've seen the episodes. Can you give us a little tease of season 14 premiere and give any kind of context to the photos that we've seen?
I sure can. So I know the episode title, It's Not Okay at the OK Corral. It is Western theme, which you can see. Mostly based around an argument between the parents and kids. And it is, I think it's probably one of the best season openers I've ever seen for the show. I can think of maybe a couple that are a little bit like right there with it. But I would include like Fluise and some of the other ones that are really good and solid intros to the season. This one's up there. It's got like the old comedy spoofs, which are great, like old cartoons. You saw the horse with the kids on it. That horse is hysterical. Enjoy yourself.
Question: does the episode jump back and forth from like modern, normal Bob's Burgers time to this Western story? Are we jumping back and forth?
We are jumping back and forth, yeah.
Okay. So it seems more like the radio episode where we start off in the normal.
It's actually a good example for it. I would say you spend a little bit more time in the Western than you do in the modern with like in the present day with them. It is hilarious. It's good. Like the bits are great. The quality of the episode. There are certain parts, and maybe you guys, when you see it, you can like let us know if you notice it too. But it looks like movie quality in some places. Like it's just real crisp. It's real fresh. I was able to ask Bernard about it at Comic-Con, and he's even verifies like, yeah, we kind of amped it up in some spots. So it's pretty. So enjoy it.
Yahoo asked, and I don't think this is a spoiler, so I think you should be able to answer this question. So it's not an anthology episode.
No.
Okay, fair enough. I didn't think it was, given the stills that we saw and how the theme was common throughout all of them. I didn't think it'd be an anthology episode, more leaning towards like the radio episode, like we had said there.
It's more of a fun story that they're telling, so it's good.
Okay, we won't push too much because, of course, as the episode comes out October 1st. We'll get the premiere of that. We'll get episode 3 of Craftopolis, which we'll get into in a second. And still no news on the Great North.
No.
We've poked and prodded. We've asked nicely, but we have no news on season 4 of the Great North other than the fact that it is happening.
We'll just have to send in the equalizer, I guess.
With as close as we are to the premieres of all the other seasons, I am even more convinced that the Great North will be moved to the summertime slot.
Yeah.
I gotta figure that they believe that the show is strong enough to carry the summertime.
Yeah, because the summer there's
nothing.
And Great North is a solid show. I think if more people were able to separate themselves from like, oh, it's just like a Bob's wannabe, and I think give it a little bit of a chance, I think you could find that it's actually really good. It's really written and done.
I think the move to the summer will help because folks will watch it because there's nothing else on. B, from Bob, good for it to help it stand on its own 2 feet. And I just think the more folks see it, the more they'll love it, and it being separated from the juggernauts of The Simpsons, Family Guy, and Bob's will only help it. I can only hope.
I think it gets lost in the mix. I think you're right.
Yeah. I gotta figure that its other competition would be the new John Hamm bento show that's coming out.
Oh, Grimsburg.
Grimsburg. We don't have
Murder
a premiere
Mystery.
date. Yeah, we don't have a premiere date for that just yet. But I gotta figure that's going to the summertime too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So let's see. We got that. We got that. We got that. Crapopolis.
Yeah.
In 12 days from now, it gets its two episode premiere. Episodes 1 and 2. JB, of course, has seen episode 1 and I think episode 9.
Yes. I was like to say we didn't see 2. They
Weird.
showed us, yeah, they showed us. They even said like this is going to be out of sequence, so you guys can't spoil anything.
Okay, so that's why they did it.
They
Okay.
thought ahead.
Okay, that's why they did it. We've mentioned it before, but what can you tease us with for episode 1 to get folks ready for? Yeah, you haven't seen 2 yet, and you haven't seen 3, obviously. But what about episode 1?
So episode 1, I think, does a really good job introducing characters. It does a great job just developing kind of like what these characters are, who they are, what their motives are, and kind of like what their like dynamics are. Because it is a family, and there's a lot of drama between the characters and a lot of like roles that they play. And I think they do a great job showcasing that. I think it's just overall really well done show.
Now,
And
episode,
for those who are worried that
go ahead.
yeah. No, what were you gonna say?
Is episode 1 mainly just introducing the characters, or do we get some kind of story-driven action or anything that kind of?
We get a story.
Okay.
No, you do. There's a little bit of a conflict between a certain character and another, so it's good.
Okay.
A lot of funny stuff with the actors. I think there's a lot of ad-libbing in this script, so they did a good job.
Humor-wise, story-wise, animation. Animation, obviously, we've seen the stills and stuff. Humor-wise, what would you compare it to? I mean, obviously, with Dan Harmon behind helming this thing, everybody's going to obviously go to Rick and Morty, stuff like that. Would you say it's in the same vein of that, or is it more towards the, not Bob's Burgers, but like more towards that raunchy humor, or?
I mean, you get some of it, but I would say I think I've described it before to other people. Really, what's it like? It's Rick and Morty-esque, and it has some of that like it's not like gross humor. It's more dark humor, and there's a lot of just like also you're gonna get a lot of like little sexual innuendo things from Matt Berry, which I think everyone was kind of expecting from like his role in What We Do in the Shadows. It's similar to that. And there's a lot of just like back and forth, like little banter with each other. The jokes are really fast. So you may catch yourself like laughing at something that maybe you missed the first time. But it is like almost like a Gene line. Like if you hear it later, you're like, oh, that's hysterical. How did I miss that? There's a lot of that. So just pay attention, listen. The plots are funny, but the jokes are really good too. And then they always do callbacks. So Rick and Morty does a lot of callbacks to jokes. There's that in Crapopolis too.
Okay, good to go. Sorry, I'm pulling up another thing here. I want to make sure I got everything in front of me.
No, you're good.
Cool.
I'd say it's like Rick and Morty light, at least from the episodes I saw.
Nice.
A little more accessible, I think, to a wider audience.
Gotcha. All right. Well, again, you can see episodes 1 and 2 of Crapopolis on September 24th, next Monday on Fox. After all the NFL games are taken care of, I think it's 8 and 8:30 or 7 and 7:30. I'll have to double check. So. We'll post it on our Instagram, of course. So I'm excited to see. We've heard about the show for years, it seems, at this point. So finally able to actually see it and perhaps figure out what the hell this blockchain thing is.
It got brought up at the thing, and they still didn't really describe it. So
nobody understands.
Yeah,
so I'm excited to see that. And I'll give it an honest shot, like I've done with other shows in the past. You've given your endorsement to it, and I got to feel we're on the same page. So I will give it an honest shot to see what I think. But, episodes 1 and 2 next week, and then the week after that, it'll slide right into its 8:30 slot after Bob's Burgers, or after The Simpsons, but before Bob's Burgers.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll just go from there. Next week we will cover both the Crapopolis episodes. In fact, it'll be a very heavy crap-filled episode.
Yep.
Uh,
It's going to be a
so
crapshoot, so get
gonna
ready.
be crapshoot. Gonna be showering crap all over everybody. Gonna have a good time. So be on the lookout for that. Let's see. Okay, now we get into the heavier discussions of this episode. And hopefully we have an audience here tonight that can chime in and give us their 2 cents on it.
Mm-hmm. We're
How
open.
they feel. Merchandise for shows. Cool. Merchandise for Bob's Burgers, The Great North, Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, all that stuff behind JB there. Some of that stuff behind JB there. In fact, probably, maybe. I don't know.
Most of it.
Yeah. So us as fans, we love our merchandise. We want it where we can get it, regardless of who makes it. But there is a very big market for unauthorized merchandise, meaning these folks create merchandise not authorized by the show. They don't pay to have the licensing rights. They don't pay the show. They just make their own designs, make tons of money off of it, with no repercussions, it seems. And it is a sticky situation. Oh, welcome back, Lee. It is a sticky situation because, again, we want cool merch, regardless of where it comes from, and regardless of who has to pay for it in the end. I am of the mind that I don't endorse. I might not make it through the live. You'll make it, Lee. You're fine. I'm of the mindset.
Stay strong, Luke.
Stay strongly. Stronger than your internet. I have always been of the mindset that, well, not always, but the last couple of years, now that I've seen how the sausage is made, I've always been of the mindset that unauthorized merchandise is a no-go for me personally. Again, now we've seen how the sausage is made, and we know what it takes to be able to make these items officially and all that hard work. To see somebody who skirts all that for their own gain just rubs me the wrong way. JB, how do you feel? Because, again, we love merchandise. You have a ton of it on your wall back there.
I do.
And the fact of the matter is these shows don't put out a lot of merchandise.
No.
So
I think that almost opens the doorway for it. I think we've talked about that, where it opens that door because there is a demand.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's on the show's fault for the most part. I think they would love to put out more things. I think it's just there is a process and it's complicated and there's legal and fun stuff and money and using, I'm sure, like with vendors and things like that, like any other business, it gets really complicated and things take time. Like 9 months to make an episode, I'm sure it takes a long time to make shirt designs get through everything, and I think there's just a lot to it.
Now, how do you balance out being a fan yourself, the knowing how the sausage is made in the process, and how do you balance out the fan side of wanting something cool when you see it?
I think for me, as you said, like once you kind of realize like how things are made and the process it takes and like all of the effort and time and energy that go into it just to make a single product, it kind of becomes like this one was licensed from the show. They reviewed it. They tweaked the design, started the design. The whole process was touched by the show to make sure that it is the exact product that they wanted released. And I think there is some really nice feeling to that because it's different. It went through waves and waves and waves of people looking at it, changing it, tweaking it to get it to in front of you. And that comes in like packaging, all that stuff, and to make sure that it's safe. Mm-hmm. So like kids don't get injured if it's like catches on fire or if it's like just got small pieces in it. Is it going to hurt anybody? Do they fall off? Is it durable? Like there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. And I think you kind of have to balance that out, as in this thing's kind of cool that someone made, but like also, is it safe? Does it go through all that stuff?
Mhm. It's again, it's a fine balancing act because if somebody puts a pin out that's really cool, and it's right from the show, not like produced by the show or made by the show, but like pulled from the episode, and it looks legit. But if it's not from a proper channel, it's, in my opinion, it's essentially stealing. Um, the vendor did not get permission to use the characters. Sometimes the colors are off.
Mhm.
They're essentially taking people's artwork and using it for themselves. Sometimes just copying and pasting.
Yeah, there is some
Sometimes,
copy pasting, and that's even more of a shame because there is that line between like art and not, and if you're just like copy pasting it, that's as an artist, that's a little ugh.
and it also bleeds into like the annual. Or no, I won't get into that. But yeah, it's a bummer because you see how hard folks work to make these items, all the steps they need to take, and to see somebody just say, "Nah, I'm not going to do all that, and I'm going to make money hand over fist, and I won't pay anything back to the show. I'm a fan. That's enough." It's that's the reason why we can't get more cool merchandise for these shows, is because folks are making their own, and I don't know. It just sucks to see because we could be getting so much more cool stuff, but
Mhm.
like now we have to fight these legal battles instead of having all this cool stuff.
Yeah, and there's like you'll even see like pictures like Lauren has posted before, like what was it, the on the melted Coochie Kobe or something that he has in his office. It'd be cool to have that. The thing is though that it has to go through testing and stuff too. You have to make sure that it's all up to like the standards that they have. And for the show, I mean, just look at the quality of the show. The standards are the same. They want products that last, that are good, that are going to maintain, not break, be functional, and all those things. They want that because they care. It's like, as Bob said, like it's the principle of the thing. That's the whole thing. And unfortunately, if you have a pool of people making stuff that doesn't go through those channels, a lot of that stuff will get picked and they're like, well, there's no market for this. No one wants this stuff. And it's like they probably do, but there's just a lot of excess stuff in there that they can get really quick and cheap. And sometimes it is a little like a buck or two extra, but you know it's going to be a little bit better because all the Bob's people probably had their hands on it. They drew it, they colored it, they tweaked it, they designed it. It's all made for the fan.
And while we are raging against this unnamed machines, I will say this, and I'm not naming names, but it's painfully obvious that there are some people out there who are doing it for a quick buck. The love for the show isn't there. They may have been fans at one point, but now it's essentially a cash cow for them. Because again, they have no overhead. They don't have to pay for the licensing fees, which again, JB and I have been privy to that kind of information, so we know how expensive those things are. And not everybody gets those. Even if you have the money, there's no guarantee you're going to get the rights.
No. Each property has its own value, and they set it. And it's depending on what it is, whether it's Star Wars or whatever. There's fees.
Yeah,
and they want to review it. So even if you have a cool idea, they're definitely going to want to look at it first.
I mean, there's a reason why From North to Wharf merchandise does not use any graphics from the show. We don't use the characters from the show. We don't use anything from the show. It's because we respect the work that the artist put in, and we're not going to steal from them.
It's someone's job. I mean, it's many people's jobs, to be honest.
Yeah. So
and those are people that I mean, they're trying to do it too. They're trying to make a living and try to get things done. And like, we hate to see people just be like, well, I'm not doing this or I'm not doing that because there wasn't a market for it because there was too many people making bootleg stuff. I mean, you see it with other products too, like the fake lightsabers versus the good ones.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes down to, as fans, are you willing to kind of look the other way, or is it more just kind of like, well, this is from them, I know it's got better quality and standards and I'm okay with that, or waiting to get that product?
I think what sucks is the bootleg merchandise. It doesn't have, like, they can afford to only make like 50. Like if Bob's wants to put out a T-shirt, they can't limit it to 50 and sell it at a decent price to make their money back.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas these other folks can go to a cheap company, get stuff made, and then sell it for more than it's worth and make their money back hand over fist.
Yeah.
So anybody in the chat, how do you feel? And this isn't a fire and brimstone on anybody who buys the unauthorized merchandise from any of these vendors.
No, some of it's really cool. We get it. Or it's just like, that's a nice design. That's awesome. I like it, but it just, yeah. Where's that? How do you feel about like getting it versus not? I guess.
And I will say this for folks who are wondering, oh, is this authorized? Is this unauthorized? There are essentially 2 or 3 authorized Bob's merchants. You can do the research on who they are, or you can DM us and we'll let you know. But there are only about 2 or 3 legit ones.
Disney likes to keep it to a certain number because that for them it's a quality issue. It's like a legal issue. They want to know like where's it coming from, how it's being made, all that stuff, because they keep track of it.
So yeah, that's just our feeling. We're not going to harp on it too long. It was just something we wanted to discuss for a while.
Someone like brought it up as a question on our Instagram. We're like, oh, we never really discussed this, so maybe it's something that people want to hear more about, or at least have a discussion about.
Yeah, so definitely interested in what you think. Let us know in the comment section below. Are you fine with unauthorized merchandise? Do you feel a certain way about it? Again, we ain't coming down on anybody who wants to buy whatever they want. We just have a little more insight to the process, and we feel a certain way about it.
Yeah.
But do what you do. Do what makes you happy. Just curious on your ideas and your thoughts.
Yeah, we're not here to judge anybody. We're just more or less just wanted to hear people's thoughts and opinions on it.
All right. Well, something a little more upbeat, or not upbeat. We got to actually address a quick little thing. Our Mages and Monsters D&D Bob's Burgers thing that we're doing, as long as the quality is good. Okay. So as long as the quality is good, regardless of where it's coming from, you're on board with it. Okay, that's one opinion. Valid as anybody else's. Good on you. Mages and Monsters, we're moving it to September 29th now. Sometime life throws a curveball at you, and you got to take care of life. So we're moving it to September 29th at 8 p.m. Still streaming live on YouTube, like see now. So yeah, that's just going to give us more time to gussy up the story, get characters in order, and make sure everything's straight. But as long as you're following our Instagram, you'll get all that information as it happens. So be on the lookout for that. It's like buying a jersey. You're worried that you'll get the player's name wrong. Huh?
I've heard of that happening, but there's also a couple different websites for jerseys that are being screened by the USPS and like delivery services. They won't deliver them. They refuse to allow them in the country. They send them back. And it's like they make them very cheaply, and like the companies and like sports organizations are like, it's not up to our standards. It shouldn't be allowed in. So they've been actually sending them back. I've had friends try to order jerseys that way, and sometimes they get through and sometimes they don't.
Yeah, I mean, and there could be some really good bootleg stuff out there that we've seen it on the Instagram like everybody else has. And it's not always about quality. It's about, for me, for Mike here personally only, it's the principle. I have my moral compass when it comes to this kind of thing, and it's just where it points me. BitPoint somebody else to bootleg alley, good on you. I'm not here to judge you. This is strictly Uncle Mike here talking. So that's how I feel. But yeah, even if you got to pay a little bit of an extra fee for it, I feel better knowing where it came from, the process that it took to get to me. I do the same thing with my autograph memorabilia that I get from like baseballs and stuff. I only order from particular vendors who I trust and who have a long track record of working with players and teams and leagues. So that's how I treat my high price items to my low price items. That's just how I go about it.
Mm-hmm. No. It's not that debate at all.
No, that's not the debate at all. Not at all. It's about who is selling the item. Where did it come from?
Mm-hmm. This is more of the legal thing. Like, I mean, the organizations. It'd be like if Disney found out you were making Mickey Mouse ears and selling them. Eventually, they would find out, and once they find out, they would try to shut it down.
Yeah. JB, before we go farther, is your camera good on the live stream?
Mine, yeah. Yours has been kind of going in and out sometimes.
All right. For some reason, you are frozen on mine. I'm gonna try something real quick.
Go ahead and try before we move forward into the next stuff.
I'm gonna don't go anywhere. I'm just gonna turn your camera off for a second and bring you back in.
Okay.
How are we now?
Go ahead and talk.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to see what it's like on YouTube because for me, your picture is frozen still. I can see you moving in the side profile plane there, but I can't see you moving. I'm going to see what it's like on YouTube real quick.
Go for it because it's the same but reversed on my end.
Okay, cool. Okay, it looks fine on the YouTube. We're fine then.
Okay, maybe it's just a stream thing. All right.
Yeah. But to Yahoo's point there, Made in America, Made in China, that's more of a who can produce it the cheapest. Now we're good on both ends on my end here.
Okay, good.
That's just who can make a good quality product. Our issue is more with who is creating the graphics and who is selling them.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we're not going to get into names, so we don't need to put anybody on blast, but you can do the math. But yeah, it's a not a touchy subject, but it is a subject worth exploring, and we get more folks' opinions on it. Hopefully, in the comment section below.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it's just like if somebody was selling their own Nintendo Switch that they made.
Yeah.
And you ordered a Nintendo Switch. It came in a box that said Nintendo Switch. And you turned it on, and it kind of was like a Nintendo Switch, but kind of not.
Essentially, it's like a Nintendo Switch versus a Nintendo Swatch.
Yes, exactly.
It's close enough for you to be like, all right, but then you're like, I know this isn't a legit one. I wish I had the real one.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like Nintendo has a lot of these where like people will make like fan-made Zeldas or fan-made Pokemon games, and like you can order them, but Nintendo's just like, we don't acknowledge those. They're not ours. Like, they're not part of our story. They're not part of canon. We don't authorize them. A lot of times they're like, we don't produce these at all, just to let you know. And they really try to distance themselves because they're like, we don't stand by this quality. We don't know what's on that.
Mm-hmm. Again, do what you do as fans. Do what's best in your interest. That's just our opinion. That's just the From North to Wharf opinion.
Mm-hmm. And we just wanted to have a discussion about it. That's all.
So it's like finding off-brand stuff or at the dollar store compared to the name brand everywhere else. Even the dollar store sells name brand stuff. It's not even that. It's, let's say I'm Bob's Burgers, for example. I'm Bob's Burgers. I make the merchandise myself. I license it out to people for a fee. JB is a fan. He wants to make T-shirts and pins, but not pay the exorbitant fee that people have to in order to make that merchandise, essentially paying us or paying Disney or whoever it is. He is just taking our artwork and our stuff without our permission and making his own merchandise for his own game. That's what we're talking about.
Mm. It'd be like if Yahoo people were making like Yahoo shirts and selling them without you knowing about it and not paying you for it, but just being like, I'm just doing it because I want to.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. And in my story, JB is the bad guy. Just want to make that clear.
It makes sense.
I just want to make that super clear. JB is the bad guy.
Yeah, this goes back to trivia. That's fine.
But that's a deeper discussion we can have, obviously. Something a little more lighthearted. Obviously, The Great North, we haven't gotten any word from it on season 4 yet. We love the show. So we wanted to take a trip back down memory lane to discuss season 1 of The Great North and rank the episodes from worst to first. This isn't our normal tier list of rare, medium rare, mouthfeels, all that stuff. This is strictly a last to first place of the episodes of season 1 of The Great North. There were 11 episodes in season 1. And without further ado, JB, do you have your list in front of you there?
I do.
All right. Let's start off with episode 11. And we'll volley back and forth so we can stay with each other.
Gotcha. All right, so mine is probably going to be a little bit of a disappointment to a lot of people, so I'm sorry about that ahead of time. But like for me, the season 1 is a great season. Don't get me wrong; like it's good, and it was really hard to do this because the first, just going down the list, they're all pretty great. Mm-hmm. The issue I have with this one is I found the talking to be a bit too much, and I know we've talked about this in the past. I just wanted a little bit more. I think it was just they were trying to run into it. And I think they found their pacing within like a couple episodes later. So for me, it's episode 1, Sexy Moose Adventure.
No.
I know. I figured you'd be so angry, but it's fine. You love the hot take. So they're
starting off hot. Okay. Wow. Okay. I'm sure.
And mostly for me, like if you asked my wife, she would be like, yeah, that's literally what you said the first time you watched it. Now I appreciate the episode. I'm like, okay, I get it. It's introducing everybody. There's just a lot of Tobins.
We have to introduce everybody.
I think it was just too Judy heavy too. And it was just like, she just kept talking and talking and talking. And it was like, I kind of want other people to have yeah. It is what it is. Okay, Mike, go ahead.
Yahoo says last place. Well, out of the 11 episodes, I gotta say, period piece adventure. And oddly enough, Yahoo, I agree with you on this one. I have period piece adventure last on my list. I don't know. I'm sure the pitchforks are coming out like, oh, you're just a man. You don't get it. Blase, blase, blah. Just as an episode, I didn't find it all that entertaining. It's not terrible. Just not one that I would go back and rewatch time after time after time, like some of the other episodes. So yeah, just I gotta say, period piece adventure. To be fair, the episode.
I was thinking that was going to be where you were at.
Yeah. To be fair, the episode is way too similar to Artfall in my opinion. Oh, okay. I can see that. That brings us to number 10.
So number 10, I have the second episode of the season, The Feast.
Jesus Christ on a cracker, JB. What are you doing?
Upsetting you is, I guess, what I'm doing. And for me, again, I think this is when the show starts to find its pacing. I think for me, episode 1
Episode 2?
I think episode 2 was a nice step back. It was more focused on Ham. It was more focused on just like a couple characters. Not like everybody had a part, but it wasn't as intense. It just felt more balanced. That's all.
Whoa, Yahoo coming in hot with 10 being Curl Interrupted Adventure.
Whoa. What? Those are fighting words.
Them is fighting words, my friend.
Sweep.
Sweep. Number 10, I'm going with Pride and Prejudice.
Okay.
It's... I don't know. It just didn't hit me the right way. It's on par with like a period piece adventure. 10 and 11 are
Okay.
very close as far as like woo. But yeah, that one I'm just gonna say you're gonna sit pretty at 10. Oh yes, Yahoo, yes. Whoa, 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 indeed.
Whoa, whoa. Why Yahoo? Why so whoa on that one?
Yeah, why, whoa, whoa, whoa. What we whoa about? Nah, brah. You got Curl interrupted at 10. Boo on you. Whoa, whoa on you.
You brought out the woe boat.
Yeah, you whoa and away. Whoa boat.
I started us off with a horrible take, but now it's just gone downhill.
Oh, whoa boat's got to be a shirt. I like that.
Yeah, that was
What do you got for nine?
that's singing row your boat every freaking day. That's what happens.
Yeah, Jesus. Where are you at with number 9?
So number 9, I have the. Why have I got the title? Give me just a second. I got them pulled up. It's the Snowflake title.
Oh, the Game of Snows.
Game of Snows Adventure. Yeah,
Ooh, okay.
I like one part of it a lot,
Oh,
and the other part I felt. I like that they were trying to find each other. I love that Honeybee was the smartest by far, and
yeah.
just was like, and from Fresno, and figured this out. Wolf and Honeybee Wolf and Honeybee. I liked their part the best. Wolf was just drunk, and it was hysterical. Like Wolfie's drink is hysterical. More or less, I liked them, and I liked Beef Story. I think the other Tobins, I would have liked it to be a little more of like just a funny like movie spoof, but it was okay. I liked it for the most part, but just not as much as the other episodes.
Seems that you and Yahoo agree with your number 9 of Game of Snows.
Yeah.
My number 9. This may tip the boat over. My Fart Will Go On adventure, the season finale.
The wedding
That
episode.
was number 9.
Ooh.
It's a good episode.
That.
It's a good episode. I just like 8 more episodes more. It was fun with the we're finally getting the wedding. Will the mom show up? Potentially, obviously she doesn't. But it didn't. It just didn't do it for me. There was a lot of bits that were fun in it, but it overall just didn't pull me in enough that 8 episodes above it did. So I don't know. I can't say anything that makes it sound like a bad episode because it's not a bad episode. And okay, Yahoo, you have that at 8. Nice. All right. What do you have at 8, JV? I can't hear you, bud. No, I think 7 because my phone will go on and the touchdowns and episode. Yahoo, you need to rewatch these episodes, my friend. Also, Yahoo, is the audio working? Let me know. Can you hear me? JB, you speak? I can't hear JB. Yahoo, can you hear both of us? One of us? Neither of us? Let us know. And we will stand by to stand by. I can't. I cannot hear a word JB is saying, which is weird. Audio's good on one end, and I see some lag for a bit. Can you hear us both, though? It says audio's good. Okay. Well, that suck because I can't hear JB. Well, I'm gonna turn your camera on and off. On. Yeah. Talk for me. I can't hear you. What the hell's going on here? Hold on. Only you? What do you mean only you? You can only hear me? Okay, JB is gone. He'll be back. But you can hear me fine. Yeah, okay, bet. Okay. And JB's come back and we'll see if this works.
How about now? Is that better?
There you go.
Well, yeah, I'm green. I don't understand.
I see you as yellow on my end.
Am I yellow now?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. We'll go until the internet shuts us down. Wait, let me try one thing here. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Video. God, that's not gonna work. Okay.
No.
All right. Well, we have to deal with it. So what did you have at number 8?
I had avocado barter. The one where Wolf around is to make. As you said with the last episode, like you brought up, they're really well written. So it's hard to pick, and we're getting into this point where like a lot of them I like. And this one I do like a lot. I think it's a good lesson for Wolf. Like he's always trying too hard, and really Honeybee just wants to spend time with him. But he spent so much time on the plane that it ruined it.
Yeah, Yahoo says avocado barter would be a top 5. I will say this, since obviously the audience is a little bare at the moment. Your internet is a little choppy right now.
Mine?
Yeah, I got yellow as far as your signal strength goes.
Okay.
And your camera, even though the camo is less than ideal. But here, I'll let you take a look at that. My number 8, I have My Sexy Moose Adventure, the series premiere. It's a fine episode. It has my favorite line from the series so far. Does the hospital accept donated medicine? Oh, there you go. There. You look great now. You look great.
Good? Okay.
Yeah. Does the hospital accept donated medicine, which still kills me to this day. It's right up there with and to think I sold you drugs from Marshmallow.
Yeah, that's a great line.
Fun episode. We learned the term Alaskan Broken. Or Alaska Broken. And we had Sexy Moose, which could make a fun little plush in the future. I don't know.
I agree with that.
We'll see.
Although I do think the Bigfoot would make a great one.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
For those crypto people, that'd be amazing to have.
So what do you got at 7?
7, I have the period piece.
Okay.
I like the message for it, and I figured you would not care for the bodily fluid stuff. And
I don't mind it, and it's not like Mike raging against women. No. Just the story doesn't resonate with me, and that's a fair thing. Sometimes stories don't resonate with every single audience member. I don't expect somebody to care about the 2019 Washington Nationals as much as I do. This story isn't for you. So,
and that's you also brought up like the Spit Keg episode, like Beta on Bob's Burgers, and that's sometimes that's one of people's favorite episodes, and Mike's no. So we all have different flavors, different tastes.
And sometimes your opinions can be wrong, so deal with that, audience. Let's see.
Tusk in the Wind.
Boo!
Boo!
Yahoo! Boom!
Love Tusk Johnson.
Number 7 for me is Avocado Barter Adventure. Fun episode, fun premise. Just seeing how people trade to get from A to B to C to D. I didn't really care for Wolf's desire to shower his honeybee with gifts as opposed to just listening to her.
She definitely tried to tell him what she wanted, and he just was not listening.
Yeah. I used to be that way with like the grand gestures. You don't need that all the time. Sometimes you just need to listen. So yeah, I got Avocado Barter Adventure number 7. Yahoo, you have Tusk in the Wind.
Tusk is a classic.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, buddy. What do you got at number 6?
Number 6. Let's see what I got for number 6. I have My Fart Will Go On. I liked that episode. I enjoyed the Titanic theme. I enjoyed that they invited all of the people from Titanic, but only the child who was on the boat accepted the invitation.
All right. What do you Oh, for number 6, I have a romantic meat-based adventure.
Beef going back on the dating pool.
Solid episode. I love it. I love Judy's songs. I love Beef being awkward. Going out there and getting shot down, but then
anytime Beef is awkward, it's great.
Yeah, 100% agree. And this is it's a classic episode. It doesn't break my top 5, but it's one of the better episodes of the season for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6 would be Feast of Not People. Oh, Yahoo! You need to watch these episodes again, brother. They're good episodes. Good episodes.
Great episodes. How dare you?
Boo! Boo this man. You got 5. What you got at 5?
Just thinking on like Bob's Birds, like Lane 5. Don't do that.
Yeah, stop it.
All right, number 5. I have the Beef romantic Beef episode.
Oh, okay.
So we just swapping the position on that, but I like it a lot because Beef is really awkward until he meets someone who's also into fish just as much as him, and I think that's good. And it's also a good introduction to kind of like what he's like with women in general. He's very awkward.
Yeah, you gotta wonder what charm what's her face saw in him to
Kathleen
to have 4 children with him.
Hopefully, unfortunately I think it's because Beef put a lot of effort into that relationship.
Yeah, he probably
put it with like a lot of what she did.
Which
makes sense.
Yahoo has Sexy Moose Adventure number 5. Fine.
That's fine.
Fine.
It's fine. Fine pine.
It's fine. It's okay. It's fine.
It's just fine.
Number 5, I have Keep Beef Leaving Adventure. Again, no rhyme or reason as 5. That's a 6 or 7. The Grown Up Zone classic. I love me a good cryptid episode. This is where we get the introduction of Honeybee's brother.
Oh man, he's so good.
He's good. Played by, of course, the hilarious Ron Funches. I'm watching Harley Quinn on HBO Max right now, and he plays King Shark on there. So I love hearing him. But yeah, Keep Beef Leaving Adventure solid at number 5.
Okay.
What you got at 4?
At 4, The Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, you want to try again?
No, I like it. It's a good episode. Okay, romantic Beef. Okay, so we're like in the ballpark, except no one likes my first take on the worst episode and then this one. Okay, that's fine.
That's fine because at number 4, I have one that you've already mentioned way back, Game of Snone's Adventure.
Okay, so you like this one a lot.
I do. I like this episode. Oddly enough, I'm not a huge fan of the snowflakes. They're all right, but I do like the rest of the story. And the 3 separate stories of the family members. But yeah, the snowflakes, for some reason, I'm just not a huge fan of.
I mean, I think we're on the same page with that. Because that's a little bit, I felt they took away from the episode a little bit.
Yeah. It's I understand why it happened. It was like
he's like having a fever, essentially.
Yeah. What you got at 3?
My 3 is Tusk Johnson.
That's your number 3? Oh.
Deserves to be in the top 3.
Yeah, I'm just surprised it wasn't your number 1.
I do love Tusk. And I mean, I did drop a Tusk shirt that I have yet to get for myself, but it's more just for fun. But I love Tusk Johnson, Adventure Man.
Oh, okay. I'm actually going to call an audible here, and I'm going to change my 2 and my 3.
Ooh.
Now that I'm thinking about it more. Number 3 is Curl Interrupted.
Oh, okay.
Love it. Great episode. Love a good sports episode. Love the story of...
Why the change?
Huh?
Why the sudden change?
Just me reflecting on what I had at 3, I like that a little better than Curl Interrupted.
Okay.
Yahoo says taking a bronze medal is keep beef leaving. All right, fair enough. Opinion's wrong, but fair enough.
It's in the ballpark.
But yeah, Curl Interrupted, classic episode. We get the story of how curling was invented, and probably one of my favorite end credit songs.
Yep.
Sung by.
It's a surprise.
So that brings us in at number 3. What do you got for 2?
2 is the keep beef leaving episode. I love the grown up zone. I love the cryptids. I love like that he's losing that like Moon is losing his innocence about being a kid and like believing in those things. Plus, we also find out that Terry isn't. He's not the Bigfoot that he almost caught.
Right. Let me ask you this: if you weren't a dad, would you have this in the same order?
Yeah, I think it's really like when that stuff happens, it's like just kind of devastating to watch. And Moon's still really little, and it's like he should enjoy those kind of things. And I really enjoy when he shows up to like the VFW and it's like, this is all just a sham. It like goes off on a tangent. And I think that was fun.
And he starts proving people wrong.
It's like when Tina went to the Thunder Girls camp and she's like, you're all just like cons.
You're a
and
cog.
pawns and
You're a cog.
And you're a cog. Have you not had enough cookies, dears? I don't need your cookies.
Okay, Yahoo says Avocado Bar Adventure will be taking the silver medal at number 2. Solid episode for sure.
It is an episode. Not going to say
see.
it's not.
It's not in my top 5, but to each their own. For number 2, and I flip these around, I have The Feast of Not Eating People at number 2.
Ooh.
Wolf's.
It came out of like. I didn't think that would be up that high.
Yeah. Wolf's desire to get his dad's approval, putting the gloves on inside out, essentially.
Oh God, that was horrifying.
Moon
Does it still look good, Dad?
Moon teaching Honeybee how to just be still in the woods. 9 out of 10 for me. Love the episode, but it's number 2. So I am curious as to what you have in number 1, though.
So my number 1 is Curl Interrupted. I love it.
Oh, okay.
Curling was my favorite game to play back in any Winter Olympics video game that sucked. Curling seemed to be the only thing that redeemed it. It's like bocce on ice. It's wonderful. I love it.
Gold medal goes a Pride and Prejudice adventure. You're. Oh, if Abby was here, I would tell her to ban you, Yahoo. Hot take.
We like the hot takes. Keep them coming.
My number 1, of course, is Tusk in the Wind adventure. Absolutely love Tusk Johnson. He is such a piece of. He's such a. I don't want to swear.
But he's wonderful.
He's a something. Love him so much. Love that Wolf is just following him like a puppy dog, wanting his approval. Wants to be on the show so bad. He fell off the tree and hurt his penis. 10 out of 10. This is the best episode of the season, hands down. I will not be taking questions about it.
Well, I have 1.
Okay.
So you'll take 1. This episode or second episode for Tusk?
This episode.
This one?
Love the second one, but he comes on like a freaking hurricane in episode 1. You find out that his partner, Dan, was probably murdered by Tusk.
Multiple times. He's almost died.
Multiple times. Yeah, definitely the first Tusk one. Love the second one, but the first one is definitely top of the pops.
I think that's where I stand with it as well.
But not enough to put it at number 1.
It's just so good.
Right.
Because he just comes off, he's almost like it's like Skip Marooch, or like when you meet your hero. Beef sees through it, Wolf does not.
Yeah, because Wolf is still much like us. He's an adult, but he still likes his kid stuff, and his heroes are still his heroes, and he wants to impress them. even though they're probably the same age, but cool. So that was our top 10. We'll probably do season 2 as well. We just want to show some love to the Great North, of course. We feel it doesn't get the recognition it deserves, so we want to shed some light on it.
Yeah, it really doesn't. It's kind of sad that it's not getting as much as it should.
All right, JB, I have a fun little thing for you. I've been teasing you with this all week long. I haven't given you any clues to what it is.
No,
I did the work. So we pull a lot of information from IMDb. Would you agree?
yes, we do.
All right. Each episode on IMDb has a rating. All 280,000 episodes of Bob's Burgers. They all have ratings on a scale of 1 to 10. They're all user-based ratings. So it's nothing official. It's just how the audience feels.
Okay.
I went through and wrote down all episodes and their ratings, seasons 1 through 13. I don't know if you can see on this piece of paper right here, but I wrote them all down. Okay. Can you give me the top 5 and bottom 5 rated episodes of Bob's Burgers per IMDb? This is from episode 1 to episode end of last season. What do you think are the top 5 rated episodes of Bob's Burgers?
Okay.
And here's the thing, you don't even have to put it in any particular order.
All right. Let's see. Top 5 episodes for Bob's Burgers. I think they would have to be. It's going to be tough.
Mm-hmm. Yahoo, of course. Audience, you can also play along.
Because it's not my top 5. It's what was rated top 5 by fans and critics.
Correct. And I will say they span a lot of the seasons. A couple seasons have multiple, but yeah. What are the top 5 IMDb user-rated episodes of Bob's Burgers? Who knows? Your top 5 may be the same.
Yeah, but that's probably Bob Actually would be on the list.
Okay, I'm just going to write these down so we can then go over the actual list.
Okay.
Bob Actually.
Burger Boss. I'm putting Crawl Space because I want it to be there.
Okay. Now again, let's take out feelings. Well, what do you think?
This is where things get hard.
Yeah, I know.
Because there's got to be a holiday episode in there as well. So I'm thinking like Full Bars.
Is that the one you want to go with?
Yeah.
Full Bars, okay. And then give me one more. Now, while your list is in no particular order, I will give you 1 through 5 per the ratings.
Because also, like, Thanksgiving is such a big thing for them.
True.
Oh. I'll go with the Equestronauts. People like that episode.
You going to say Equestronauts?
Yeah, people love it.
Equestronauts. Pretty sure I spelled that wrong, but All right, so JB, your list, in no particular order, was Bob Actually, Burger Boss, Crawl Space, Full Bars, and Equestronauts.
Yeah.
And you think that is the top 5 highest rated episodes? Now, again, not in the amount of votes that it got, but in its rating.
Yeah.
And that's tricky because like one episode can get like 20 total ratings and they're all 10s and it's a 10. And then another one gets like 2,000 votes and it's all over the place and it's a 4 or something. So that's where it gets tricky. But you're good with those 5. Yahoo, what do you think?
Making this hard.
I know that's what's fun about this.
Because there are other episodes that I think are really good that I think fans really like too.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like House Trap. I'm sure people love that one with Helen.
Mm-hmm.
Bob
Right now we're doing top 5.
Like Bob Day Afternoon would probably be in there too. Mickey. I also like the Odor games. That's a great episode. The Haunting is like my favorite episode. So that's Crawl Space. Shit. I don't know. I probably would change it all again. I don't know. It's hard.
I'll wait for Yahoo to give their top 5 before I reveal, and I'll give you time to change yours.
Oh yeah, and then there's like the Warfening and like Glued. Where's My Bob?
Yep.
Damn it.
Oh, I'm so glad I thought of this.
The worst I feel more comfortable with.
Well, we'll get there.
I feel like they're going to be probably right up with where I'm thinking.
Let's see. Yahoo is saying Plight, Bob Actually, Haunting, Bleakening, and Carpe Museum. I assume in no particular order, but JB, you let me know when you're ready for me to reveal the top 5 and their actual rankings.
Go ahead.
All right. At number 5, with an average rating of 8.7, we have the Odor games.
That's a good one.
8.7, which is weird because immediately after this, like 10 episodes got an 8.6. So luckily, I didn't have too many of overlaps here. Number 4 with an 8.9, we have Amelia. Just from this last season, 8.9. Coming in at number 3 with an average rating of 9.0, Glued. Where's My Bob?
Yeah, I would have added that one.
Number 2 with a 9.1 average score on IMDb, of course. User ratings. We have The Hunt.
Yeah. Probably swap that for full bars.
Uh-oh. Hold on. I'm getting there. We back?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Again, number 2 with a 9.1 average rating, user rating, is The Haunting. That leaves us with number 1 with an average IMDb user rating of 9.6, The Plight Before Christmas. Past season's Christmas episode. Great episode. So again, according to IMDb users, the ratings are number 5, The Odor Games, 4, Amelia, 3, Glued. Where's My Bob, 2, The Haunting, and 1, The Plight Before Christmas. That brings us to the bottom 5, as voted on by IMDb users. JB, what do you think are the bottom 5 episodes of Bob's Burgers?
The one where Gail has a yurt, the yurty Rotten Scoundrels, that's definitely one. The Gene Show would have to be another one. God, I hate that episode a lot. I'm trying to think of some other ones that are just all just fucking miserable.
Whoa.
I don't know. Well, they're not. A lot of the ones I don't like, it's just I wish they took in a different direction. Because there's like potential, but it just doesn't land well. I'm not gonna pick Brunch Squatch because I think people genuinely are okay with it in some respect.
Okay.
I know you disagree with that.
I do.
Let's see, because I was a little bit off on my best episode, so I really got to up the game a little bit with this one.
Yeah, you were off a lot.
I was off.
you were
off. The spider episode, where Louise keeps a spider in her room.
Oh, the lofty something or other.
No, it's not the Loftslation. That's the one where they go to the couple's house or loft apartment. It's one where I think she keeps a pet spider.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember a lot of what else happens in that.
Right.
It's probably why I found it forgettable.
I need 2 more.
The one where Gene has that what's he doing? He's growing like alfalfa sprouts or something. Either that one,
Boy.
either that one or the one he's like doing the music video with Courtney. Because I kind of found him to be kind of a dick in that episode.
Are those your final two answers?
I've seen a lot of like the last 3 seasons heavy.
Let's
So
see.
one-
Yahoo's coming in with Yurty Rotten Scoundrels is one. Fender Benderful is
Well, that's a good one.
Putts Giving. Spider House Rules, which is
Oh,
the second
Mommy
one.
Boy. I gotta pick Mommy Boy.
Okay.
I dislike that one a lot.
So then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's your 5. You have Yurty Rotten Scoundrels, The Gene Show, Spider House Rules, A Sprouter Boy, I believe that's the name of it, and then Mommy Boy.
Yeah, a lot of Gene. Sorry, guys, if you like Gene.
All right. According to IMDb and the user ratings, the top 5 are the bottom 5 episodes of Bob's Burgers are as follows. Number 5 with a rating of 6.8, All That Gene. All That Gene. I believe that's the episode where he is auditioning to be in a play. He doesn't get it, then Linda steps
That's
in.
the one. Yeah, the Gene Show one.
Mm-hmm. Number 4 from this last season, Mother Author Laser Pointer. 6.8
I would
rating.
agree with that. That one is Linda goes way off the rails.
This next one was a shock to me with a 6.7 rating. Interview with a Pop Pyre.
Oh, I like that one.
I know, but the users did not. The users did not.
Maybe they're mad about Mickey.
Number 2, coming in at 6.7, we have Crapsolutely Fabulous. For the life of me, I cannot remember the plot of that one.
Absolutely. Was that the crab wrestling one?
Maybe for the life of me, I cannot remember. And then coming in at number 1 through 3 were all tied with a 6.7 rating. So this was in no particular order as far as that goes. Number 1 with a 6.7 rating. It's out. Yeah, it's out. Ready Player Gene.
Yeah, that one.
Ready Player Gene with a 6.7 rating.
I felt it could have gone in a lot of different directions and just didn't.
Yeah, little rough, but a lot of booze on that one. So there you go. Pretty fun. Again, it's hard because you have like 200 plus episodes to come through and figure out what.
That's what made it hard.
Yeah. So fun. Obviously, we can only do that one time though.
No, it's okay. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, nice. Right now I get the number 1 pick of the draft. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, now you get to pick Victor Wembanyama. You can be, or whatever the hell that kid's name is. Yeah, there you go. That's been from the Great North. JB, do you have anything else you want to add before we wrap this bad boy up?
No, sir. I think that's about it. Be back next week to talk about Crapopolis.
Yes. Yeah, no, it was that low. It was a 6 point.
I liked it. I was a little disappointed in that episode. I mean, in that rating, the episode I liked.
The majority of folks said boo to you.
Boo to them.
Again, want to thank our Patreon subscribers. Without you, this is not possible. You help us keep the lights on here. Big thank you to Maria, Chelsems, and Nick. Using their first names. I don't know if they want their last names put out there, so I'm not going to do that. If you would like to become a Patreon member, of course, there's no obligation to. The show here will always remain the same. The Instagram and trivia will always remain the same. We only have one tier. It's a $3 tier, and essentially it's to help us with the production of the show. This stream that you see right here, all the bells and whistles, costs money every month, and it's not a lot, which is why our tier is so low. So that all the money that we get from Patreon goes right back into the show and allows us to get cool stuff like prizes for you all whenever we do trivia and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you'd like to help us out there, it's $3 a month. Link is in our bio. Of course, no obligation to do it whatsoever. Even if we didn't have Patreon members, nothing we do would change. This is just something that helps us out a little bit. So yeah.
Really, that's what it's there for.
Yeah, be on the lookout for new merch. Me and JB are working up some designs as we speak. We have some fall designs coming out, some Halloween designs coming out. We're all excited about that. JB showed me one today that we're really excited on. We just got to fine tune it a little and
We'll get it there, though.
but yeah, stay tuned after we say goodbye here because we have a little end credit that we want you to check out and give your opinion on. So. This has been From the Great North to Wonder Wharf, your one-stop destination for bento box information. As always, I am Mike.
And I'm JB.
And I should have queued this up a little earlier. Hold on.
Stand by.
Yeah, stand by. So, again, we'll see you next week, and good night, everybody.
Good night, all.